let's take a look here. Fred Baker's coming in on the court, a late tack. Blue Jay, you're way too far behind, but you're going to win the boat if you want the boat, so that's okay. Let's sneak up here. Frank, you're too far underneath the line down there. Frenzel.
37-26, 5-8, over.
So we see Frenzel is over, as well as the Tim O'Day boat. And looks like Frank is spinning as well. Not sure if he's over, if he hit the mark. So we see some chaos down at the pin. Lots of holes though between some groups here. So definitely try to pick your gaps a little bit. The line's long enough that you don't need to be at either end to do terribly well. I think we're still slightly pin favored, but we've seen the boats that can go right and get the pressure do just fine. So see how we go here. Right now, a lot of the boats going left look pretty straight up and down. We can see the mast standing straight up and down here. Not a lot of action. Pretty soft on the left. Meanwhile, in front of us, a little more pressure here in the middle of the race course. Boats heeled over, sailing up the race course. So it's not just go left and win. And it'll be interesting to see how the boats that have gone left or right or middle here do this race. Take a look at some more setups as we come up the middle of the course. It's Wado up there coming across on port. He did offer the Genoa. I went and talked to him briefly, and he said he just felt like it was right on the edge. And it's just tough with three, but I think they're going to be happier with the Genoa. It's generally more light. Looks like Rigel here. That's Frank. Maybe that Genoa's a touch too tight up top, just in this light stuff. But it doesn't look that bad. I can't say I dislike it. Meanwhile, the boat's charging out the top left up there. They finally found their pressure. Brad here at the racing class had tacked. Looks like they had a little Genoa snafu, and they've had to tack back, and now they're trying to get themselves squared away. Wade continuing to look pretty sharp up there. Little lift is going to give him a lot, and the header's also going to let him come back and maybe step up in the boats that are back here. Frenzel, who was over on that race at the pin, is coming back out of the right and sees a header, which is not what he was looking for, and now he's going to tack. He realizes that if he does not, he's going to be behind this entire gap. He doesn't want to do that. He's going to go back. He's going to try to look for a right shift, which there is a little one developing up here. We see Wade showing that to windward of him. That may allow him to re-engage back on starboard, but he didn't have much more to gain by sailing into that massive header. So he took the option to tack. Meanwhile, we see Kent here coming up the middle, looking nicely balanced, and I believe that's Stiletto. And then pretty tight bunching coming out of the top left here. We have Fred Baker and Santuza, Spanish Flynn going in front of us there. Jose's boat, Ika up there leading. We got Mark Toso right there fighting. We got Malcolm just behind him fighting it out. Got the other racing class right here. And there's some header to be had. There is some header for the boats that have been coming across. And we see Wade has tacked over. He's not going to have the leaders, but he's definitely in the mix. Santuza, as Fred recognizes that he's there, he's going to attack early, and Jose and the Eco boat there, they could have attacked sooner, so they kind of give it up a distance by not getting out of there sooner, and away we go as this righty comes in, and John Dexter here. He has his leads all the way forward as well. And probably a broken leash line on that Genoa, which is probably driving him nuts. I'm sure I'll hear about that one. Meanwhile, 3 leaders get around. And I need to get out of the way as I am directly in the firing zone. And a little bit of gap. Toso leads the next group of Jim and MIT group, followed by the advanced racing class, and then Malcolm, I believe. No, sorry. Yeah, that is Malcolm. Look back. Ika, the Jose team wants to drive. I think he looked at it but realized he's got some starboard issues, so he's just going to keep trying to work down. Fred there working down. Wade on the outside of them. And I have to imagine that someone's going to be looking to jive here with this group getting around just to look for a little leverage, although, let's see, really tight bunchings here. And all the sets are pretty darn sharp. This is great to see. Over here we got Renzel and Malcolm driving over. Mark is here, Jim on the outside of him, MIT group outside of them. Really tightly contested middle pack here. It's anyone's game at this point. Crucial. Both should be looking to drive. I'm surprised that some of them over here have not. Look at our leaders here coming in, and it's going to be right into the sun for you. I apologize, but it's what it is. And we're going to see some pretty conservative takedowns. Fred's got the right of day. He's in the zone. He's clear ahead. He's just going to get that Genoa down, get things clean. I think Wade will probably be looking to do the same thing, just especially because he's short-handed. So there goes the pull. And they're inside. They have nothing to give up at this point, except a little bit of distance to the boats behind and maybe a little bit to the boat in front. But for the most part, they need to get around clean. And they're going to do that. Fred quickly up and around. Looks sharp. We see, look at, Wade here. He's got a nice job. And it's going to be a little late in the Genoa getting it, but he's got the main trim early, which is going to help him just pivot that boat upwind. And Kevin's right onto the Genoa. It's not perfect, but for 3 up, it's darn good. And then we look and see that, holy cow, it's all here. It's all fun. It is right phase. So Frenzel has done the option of going to the other gate. And it's going to be a little bit of a fire drill for some of the boats as the pressure comes in. We have some exciting things happening to windward here, and we'll just keep the camera rolling. It's a little pressure coming into the leeward mark here. And let's take a look. Toso almost had the ability to hook inside. He really wanted, but it just didn't quite pan out. But that opens the door nicely for Frank, who's a little bit off guard. So frowning there, Frank. We'll have to talk to you on that one. See what's going on. This came with a lot of pressure and caught boats by surprise for the most part. Not everyone, but certainly some of them. That should not be happening here. You need to have someone looking back, following that breeze to make sure that you don't get caught off guard with the pressure coming down, especially with these big Genoas. It's really important to get them down cleanly and get the Genoas up cleanly and the spinnakers down. So we'll come back in a second. We'll get the finish line squared away. Fleet is still very compact. I mean, this is just very, very good racing, nice and close. Looks like that's Wado there. Although maybe it's not. We're gonna get closer here to see. This white boat is leading. That might be... Who the heck is that? That might be Fred. Fred Baker got himself a nice lead going, followed by Jose, slightly to windward up here with Ika, followed by a 3-way with John Dexter with the red striped kite there, Wado with the blue and teal, and on the outside I believe that would be Matty Flynn. Looks like Fred's continued to extend down here. I think Jose, Dinos here, they kind of ran out of pressure for a while. And the boats behind are starting to carry some pressure down. So Fred's going to have himself a nice, comfortable first. And then third place finish is going to get a little more interesting as our red boat here has slowed up a touch. And you got Guido there in the middle, kind of challenging, carrying some pressure, trying to work it down. I think he's going to run out of real estate. I think the finish line is pretty square. Maybe it's much favored, but there's Fred with the win. I just think they're going to run out of real estate before they can fully attack. But yeah, that's how it's going to settle. I think Wade just needs to be careful now of not getting covered and having John Dexter, who's surging, get to him, and he's very close to that. Looks to be pretty square in the line. I'd say it's going to be close. I think Wade's just going to hang on to it, followed by John Dexter, followed by, oh, that's Dave Frenzel. Excuse me, I thought that was Matt. That was Dave Frenzel on the outside, and then followed by Jim. Nice come together here. MIT group is going to come in next as they come back down in right phase, and then it will be, let's see, that looks like that's Kent, followed by Toso on the outside. And then a little gap, and then we'll have next group coming in here.